Hi, friends. I'm Sarah Lovely, and I am going to take you through a series of trainings, everything to do with the dip. This is set number one or segment number one. Why do the dip? Why dip? So, this is really for affiliates. This is for you. And I want you to listen to this. It might be the most important training of all of them. Even if you're doing the dip already, don't skip this because I think it's going to open your mind to more reasons to do the dip. So this is going to help you talk to your customers, your leads, and your affiliates that maybe aren't doing it yet. Now, there's something called contempt prior to investigation. And I want you to think about that if you're not doing the dip. And I'm talking right now to those of you that have maybe decided that the dip isn't for you. I want you to listen to this whole training. It's not going to be long, and then decide after listening to all of this if the dip is not right for you. Because what I want to make sure is that you're deciding to not do it from a place of knowledge versus a place of lack of knowledge. Also, it's not necessarily here that I'm here to convince you that you should do the dip. You still might decide that the dip isn't for you after this. But with this knowledge and information, you can move forward and still choose to share it out with others. So let's get started. Okay. I want to ask you the dip. First of all, I want to tell you something. The dip is a product. It is a product just like that, just like our rise and soars. The dip is a product in and of itself. We're going to be selling the value of the dip. I'm going to get into that in another training. But I want you to think of this. When reverse was launched, did you just take one look at reversing your age and decide that's not for me? I'm not interested in that. I'm not going to learn about it. I'm not going to talk about it. No, you didn't. You learned all about it and then you decided. Think of the dip as a product, not a free program with product. It stands on its own and its value is insane. So I want you to think of it the same way as if Frequence launched a new product and you would learn about it and then you would decide. So, and it would be the same if you just didn't even share reverse or source or anything else. If you're not sharing the dip, it's the same as that. Okay, that's my preach on that. I want to point out that the dip is not just for fat loss. So let's just say, for example, because I know there are a lot of people who come from companies, and I'm one of them, who are kind of over the whole fat loss sales thing. I was right there with you guys. If that's you, I relate. But I want to make it really crystal clear that the dip is not a diet. It is not a fat loss, weight loss program. That is a side benefit. If that is something that you want, then you are going to get that as a result of following this beautiful 30-day program. What is the dip then if it's not a weight loss program? I'll tell you, this is a hormone balancer. It's going to balance your hormones. It is going to reset your gut. Let's talk about gut health for a minute here. When you take the source is such a good gut health product, right? I have been taking it for 16 months now. It improved my gut health. I talk about it. I sell it. It is a great gut health product. Here is something that I think you might be excited about. The dip is absolutely going to take your gut health to the next level. It did mine. I couldn't believe it. I thought my gut health was great with the rise and the source and even the reverse. And then I got into the dip, and in the first 5 days and beyond, my gut health improved. Do you know that 70% of your body's serotonin is produced in your gut? And if your gut isn't okay, then that affects your happy hormones. Oh, now we're talking mental health. Now we're talking brain function. Now we're talking mood. We're also talking sleep. Serotonin triggers melatonin. What does melatonin do? Helps us sleep. What happens when we sleep better? We feel better. So not only is the dip a gut reset, This is not just something to skim past, you guys, especially those of you that don't want to talk about the fat loss component. I want you to think about the mental health aspect of this dip. It is absolutely scientifically proven, this dip, to affect in a positive way your mental health through your gut. There's a reason right there to run with this. Not only that, but when you balance your hormones even more, what happens? Mood increases. So I want you to think of this if you're looking for other reasons to talk about the dip. Talk and do it more for gut health. Do it for your hormones. Do it for your sleep. My energy has increased dramatically, and I thought it was good from the rise, from doing the dip. One of the reasons is the gut health, the hormone balancing, the clean eating, but also, as Jackie says, my body feels safe. My body is now thriving because of the way I'm eating and thinking about my eating. So because I'm giving my body the best tools possible to thrive, not just survive, my energy's gone up. There's so much more to this than weight loss, and I hope that that helped you. Now let's talk about the weight loss for a moment, because so many people want that. Me, I wanted that and I got that. Your audience, a huge percentage of them, does want to release some fat, some unwanted fat. And I want to tell you this loud and clear: how we feel about our bodies, how we feel in our own skin when we're alone in our closets, 100% affects our mental health. This is a mental health product. The dip is a mental health program and product. I want you to get that loud and clear. I hope that you have. We're going to talk in the next training about how you can move forward with this now. But that is the reason why you would do the dip. Let's just close this off. Value of the dip is worth so much more than what you think. Now, if you saw Jackie Coney's launch video on this, she talked about it being worth over $10,000. It is true. And have you experienced that at all from these last couple of weeks in the Facebook group? All the support she's giving, all the answers to the questions. People, your customers and you literally have a certified holistic health coach on demand 24/7, answering your questions. The support in that group that I'm seeing also from you guys cheering each other on is incredible. Without community, we can do very little. With community, we can soar. This has given us a community that is far greater than anything I've ever seen. And it is of equal value to the health benefits we're getting from the dip. So don't forget that part too. I encourage you, if you weren't going to do the dip, I encourage you to choose a reason that you would want to do it. What about if you do it just for the journaling aspect of it? Don't know what the journaling is? That's because you haven't looked closely at the dip. If you were to do this just for the journaling aspect, and be loud and proud about that, say, I'm doing it for this. I'm doing it to learn more about my body and my mind-body connection. I'm doing the journaling part to see what I can uncover, discover, and discard and make new habits. Do it just for that alone. You will see the benefit of it, and then you'll be able to talk about that. So I encourage you, whether you're doing it for the gut health, the hormone health, the sleep, the energy, the unwanted fat loss, the getting rid of inflammation, the getting rid of extra bulk, the food, mind, body, eating, water drinking connection, the awareness around our bodies and how we fuel them, the lack of restriction so that we can still have treats, and learning how to balance between restriction, like a lot of us have come from, and it's okay to literally dump restriction in the ditch and embrace rhythm. What about if that was the reason you did it? There are endless reasons for you to do this dip, and I encourage you to jump on board. So that's training number 1. We'll see you on the next one.